Good day, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there and single dads. I kind of like putting that out there because I know that there's a lot of dads that play both roles. So happy Mother's Day to y'all. And thank you so much for joining us today. This is going to be a open discussion about SciVive. We're probably going to touch mostly on what sorry, I gotta mute myself in the stream. All right. Mostly about how SciVive came to be, how it came to be what it is today, and the future in terms of the work that I'm doing in editing and the narration and all of that. I did send an invite to Richard. I don't know if he's gonna show up. That'd be really cool, but I'm sure that I would love at some point in the future for he and I to sit down and actually do a stream together and go over some of the points that he's made about SciVive. I'd love to hear from him how it developed, what his process was and what he was thinking, and how it came to be from these audio clips into what we see today as this PDF format that we've got. And I want to share this video with y'all. The person who put it together, their YouTube stream is Sweaty Hexagon. If I haven't yet, I will be putting a link to this video and their channel in the description. So I would love for y'all to go ahead and like and subscribe because it is really, this is just like a gem of beautiful SciVive-ness. So without further ado, so we can get the stream going, I'm going to go ahead and share this awesome video, and I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. It honestly brought tears to my eyes as I was watching it. This is live, Nicholas, Redbird, John J, Smarty Pants, Bretch, GG, Translate, Ninja Chopstick. Good to see y'all. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in, and let's take a look at this awesome video that Sweaty Hexagon put together. One moment here. Bring this up. All right. And hopefully this works. I'm gonna try doing this full screen so that you all can see it in all its glory. Yeah, sorry. I just checked in on my stream and I see that you have no sound. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, sorry. I just checked in on my stream and I see that you have no sound. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, sorry. I just checked in on my stream and I see that you have no sound. Hold on. Echoes on echoes. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Again, I am rather new to streaming, so let me see what I need to do to get the audio going here. StreamYard is sharing a window. I understand that. Let me try something else. I'm going to put it in here. Share. Oops, nope. Okay, it's going to look funky for a second, but let's see if this will work. Ah! All right, any luck there? All right, any luck there? No. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to make that happen. I don't know why it won't. It probably has something to do with my audio settings, and I am totally not sure how to. Let me see. Wait, let me try one other thing. Um, I might sound strange for a minute, but I'm gonna try one more thing. If this doesn't work, then we'll just move on, but let's try again. Shoot. Big ups to Sweaty Hexagon, by the way. So if I can't get this to work, this is you want to go to the Sweaty Hexagon channel and find this amazing video. How about now? I can hear it in my headphone. You guys hearing it now? Anyone hear it? Let me know if you can hear it. Anything? Audio? Can you guys hear it now? No, no. Okay. Well, I learned how to share my screen the other day, and let me stop that. Okay, well, it's beautiful. So definitely go to that channel. I'll actually link to the video in a second here. Are you sharing screen? I went to share screen, and then it had me pick a window. And so I tried doing it in a separate window, and then I tried doing it in my own window. But anyways, y'all, thank you for sticking with me through that. I'll put that link in the window, so or link in the chat so that you can check out that video. But please do. It is just, a lot of the reason that I do this, and a lot of the not at first. So for those of you who don't know, anyone who's joining me for the first time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining. And I didn't find Richard first. I found Hex. Or let me put that better. I was presented with Hex. Crypto Kool-Aid's a good friend of mine. He led me into this community and, showed me the way in terms of Hex. And my first interaction with Richard was seeing him doing the unboxing videos, and I was just like, who is this guy? I already had a pretty, solid foundation in terms of, listening to Kool-Aid and listening to Whales Only One. And I felt very secure in it. And then I kind of saw Richard's videos and I was like, well, man, like, who is this dude? Like, do I want to be giving my money? Oh, let me fix my audio again real quick. Do I want to be really investing in this? Because this is his product, and like, who is this guy? Like, I want to know more about the founder of where I'm investing my money. So I decided to dig a little bit deeper. I found out about SciVive, and I started to read. And I was like, oh, there should be an audiobook somewhere, right? So I looked for the audiobook. I found the Anne Hex crypto version, which is a robotic version, better than a lot of other robot versions. But for me, as someone who is a avid audiobook listener, I had a hard time. And I thought, if I'm going to be reading this or trying to listen to this, maybe I should just read it. And that way, I get to read as I'm going along and I'm learning all this information, and people, well, again, it was selfish. I was just like, I just want to hear like, a little nicer version of this audio. So I went ahead and did it myself. And that's where my journey began with SciVive, and that's very recent. I mean, in terms of the history of this book, it's been around for a good few years. I'd say at least 3 or 4 at this point. And I've only, in the last 8 months, I'd say, really gotten into it and gotten to learn more about it. And kind of all that to say that I think a lot of people see Richard the way I first saw him. Like, who is this guy? Why is he flaunting all this stuff? Like, what is his deal? And the more I read SciVive and the more I understood where he's coming from and what he is trying to share with the world, the more I was like, wow, this man is a gem of a human, and his ideas are brilliant. And it is just, it is now my mission to present him in this light and to help people see him, in this other, like, more philanthropic and, caring and concerned with the world and what's going on. So that video, again, I'll link it as soon as I get a chance. I'm going to bring some guests on and we'll be chatting and stuff. But it just is so beautiful and heartwarming, and you really hear all these little snippets of how much he cares and how much he wants to contribute and how much he wants to what's the word I'm looking for? Empower. He wants to empower us. People get upset. They're like, "Oh, Richard, why are you spending $20,000 on this stupid bag or, these shoes or these watches or whatever? Like, why don't you give that money to charity?" Well, Sense Foundation, right? Like 27 million to Sense. That happened because of him. And then, like, the bigger thing that I don't think people really comprehend is that he is empowering us. He wants us to go forth and do this, like, so is there a charity that you care about? Cool. Invest in Hex and, see those returns come. And when you're ready and you want to take some gains, put them into the charity of your choice. Do something with them that's going to change the world like he wants you to. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on a few guests here. Welcome, Scott with 1T.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me
Hello.
okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
All
I'm gonna
right.
ask someone who may or may not be here. Oh, actually, let me go to our private chat. Yes, here we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I thanks, Scott. I'm only now seeing your messages about how to probably fix all of this. So,
Right.
and let's see. Translate, are you there? Okay, he might. If when you get in Translate, go ahead and just message me in our little private chat. Translate, everyone, is his name, or DJ Translate. I found him in the SciVive Telegram, and he is also doing an audiobook of SciVive. So you will have multiple voices to choose from. And I love that too. Some people would be like, "Oh, well, it's already done," or no. Who cares? The more the merrier, I say, and then there's going to be different strokes for different folks. Different people are going to want to listen to a different type of voice. So I'm really excited to hear more about how that's going with him. And we've got
Awesome.
the man with the golden mic who is gracing us with his presence at a very early time in his time zone right now. D-Raj, thanks for being here.
Namaste, all SciVivers. Yeah. If you
Hey.
don't know who I am, you are probably new to Hex. So I forgive you. And like, and also wishing everyone a very happy Mother's Day. It's something that came up in my mind, just like, in India, everybody says cows are holy. So, do you know why they are considered holy? Because only a cow can give birth to a healthy bull. Similarly, it's only a mother that gives birth to a healthy child or a human, and they have, like, they are the reason, like, humanity continues. So thank you all those mothers, and thank you everyone
Awesome.
to
Thank you,
family.
D-Raj.
Yeah, thank you. I
Cool.
Definitely.
speak too
So
Happy
much.
Mother's Day to everyone out there.
yeah,
All the
happy Mother's
mothers.
Day. Awesome. So my first question, I'll just go ahead and start with you, Scott.
All right.
Where did you come into this world of SciVive? How did you either find Richard, and then how did that lead you to SciVive? And what do you know? My big question, and I can't wait to ask Richard about this, is, what do you know about the origin of this book, like where it came from, and so tell us a bit about your SciVivor journey.
Okay, right. So, well, first I found Richard just from, getting into Hex, and it was more about cryptocurrency then. But as I started watching some of his videos, it was like, oh, and I make self-help books, and I heard him say SciVive, and I checked it out a little bit. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But it really wasn't until after the Hex conference, so it's actually pretty recent, that I found out about you doing the audiobook. And so really you doing this audiobook was my entrance to SciVive, because I started listening to the chapters that you were reading, and I started watching your show, and it was, you know, there's so many great little gems in every chapter, just so much wisdom that he's imparting. And I was like, this is some good stuff, And it was I think the show you did on the time chapter, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to talk about this, So it's which is one of the reasons why I wanted to come on your show. And so so I'm relatively new, but I just can see the potential. Like, I haven't read the whole book. I hear it's pretty long, so but I'm looking forward to it. So
Awesome. Yeah, very cool. And I just can't, it just makes me so warm and fuzzy inside to hear people saying a similar thing to, to what you're saying in terms of listening to me read it was their entrance into SciVive. There was this beautiful comment that I shared on Twitter the other day about someone who mentioned that they are legally blind. So they had been, they're interested in SciVive, but not until they heard my voice were they actually like interested in listening to it. And that just, I was just like, if I never do anything, get any likes or follows or subs ever again, like, it was worth it just to hear that, like, that's just such a beautiful thing to me. So I am just over, like, I just keep feeling this love, and it just makes me, it keeps me going, and it gets me really excited to be doing an even more in-depth and better, more polished version of the audio as I go along and edit. And same with Fix the World. So I'm probably like 20% into editing Fix the World, and then once that edit is done, I'll be reading that as well.
Well, let me say this, because I do have some experience. I work at the Library of Congress, and, with my, audio engineering background, I actually, my job professionally is to listen to audiobooks to make sure that the quality is top notch, because we have a program at the Library of Congress for, anyone who's blind or who can't pick up a print book and read it. They can get audiobooks for free. And so, like, I do quality assurance on audiobooks. And, so I'm here to say, listening to your audiobooks, you're doing a great job. And I've listened to a bunch of audiobooks. So, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I was, I just worked with what I had. Like, I had a mic that a neighbor had given me for free. And and I now, like I said, going forward, it's going to be a little more higher quality. There's a I think chapter 7, I forgot to switch the audio, and like for the first 45 minutes, you can hear the cars really loudly and the birds in the background and things like that. So so yeah, I'm very I feel very fortunate to be a part of this community, man. I had 3 people reach out to me to offer to help upgrade my mic when I had mentioned that I had dropped the mic that I have now, and they want to remain anonymous, but for, again, and I can't thank you all enough to the both of you who contributed to that fund. So actually the mic I'm using now is the upgraded mic. I'm not gonna mess around with it, but yeah, it's a Shure. It's the smaller Shure. It's the more portable, that I think is MB7. So it sounds real nice, right? It's gonna be great. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I found the link to that video. Let me just put it in the chat. So if you all want to try and check out Sweaty Hexican's video, and Sweaty Hexican, I don't know if you were here for that total botching of trying to share that video, but thanks for tuning in, and thank you for creating that video. I see you're up here in the chat. So hi, Maddie and Georgia. Academic, I can say this, academaciated. That's a dope handle you got there. Francis, I Love Jesus, Green Botanist, DJ Polly Wood, Chris, Finbear, Redbird, Dakota. I'm so glad that y'all are here and tuning in, and looking forward to a lot more deep discussions and, really digging into the juice. Is that what I does? Like a juice. SciVive is juicy steak. Yes. So yeah, looking forward to all that. And hi to everyone. I'm not going to go too much through the chat today because I unfortunately have to cut this stream a little bit short. It'll be like about an hour and a half, but still, to me, with this topic, that's short. So
Right.
So yeah, same question to you, Draj. I want to know a little bit more. Like, tell us about your journey into SciVive and Richard, and how you found SciVive or Richard, and how that looked for you.
So I first saw Richard on a live stream with Ivan on Tech in 2018, May 2018. So it would be around 4 years now. So after, like, after you listen to him, yeah, you can at least tell that he's a knowledgeable guy with regards to crypto. And I was like researching into crypto then. So after so like once I heard him, like I went through all his videos, and after that I came to know about SciVive. And I think didn't actually read the book for quite a while. I was there in the SciVive chat, but I left it because things were getting a bit like what you call kind of conspiracy theory kind of talk was going on a lot. So I left that, but I finally managed to read the whole thing. And so that's why I'm here, because I'm going to be a bit of a critic of the book. You know, if we are going to turn it into a religion, then we need a doubting Thomas to be the critic. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Like, and the thing is, after I read it, like more, first of all, for me, it was like reading a. I read the original version, the unedited one. So it was kind of reading through a Reddit forum thread.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, it's not continuous at all. But after you have gone through it, I kind of knew, like, I think after the second chapter, I like most of these things I normally do, like maybe I street smarts or something. But so at least I know that, yeah, he's telling good stuff. So just go through entire thing, then I have read it. But
Yeah.
so, and some of these things are good, but the thing is, it's great advice, but it is not exactly marketable advice, like, especially in the self-help genre. Like, if you have read other books, like, uh, the thing is, most of those books will give you really vague advice, and that is what they want. Just give vague advice, no real actionable thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, and that is the point, so that more people, uh, like, everyone can just read the book and feel good about themselves for reading the book, but at the end of the day, everybody is at back to square one. While sci-fi urges you to take like concrete action, but those things apart, it's really badly written, I say, mainly because, like, I'm not going into the grammar aspect of it either, like where sci-fi is defined as a verb and then it is continuously used as a noun. Those kind of things apart,
Right.
like, let's say, like, there are certain things you don't do, like if you are having a shortcoming, you don't expose that shortcoming while you are writing. Like,
Mm.
for example, in the introduction itself, there is like the 9 principles or whatever, like colors of SciVive. So, and at the end there is a note that this does not match the normal 369 color palette. The readers mostly even don't know what the color wheel is, so why just point out to it and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
create
he
a
does do
negation
that.
between. So these
Mhm.
kind of things do affect, like, and if you know that it does not match the color wheel, then why are you using the color wheel to represent those tenets? Like, maybe
Yeah.
you can, my suggestion would have been use the 9 gems. You, I don't know if you follow astrology and gemology. Yeah, you could, we can, plus it becomes more of a product you can market. So 9 gems of SciVive.
Ooh, yeah, I like
That's
that.
pretty
You
good.
know, and I think he's open to suggestion, especially when we spoke the other day and he mentioned that he doesn't like the name SciVive. He was like, it didn't stick, it didn't
Yeah.
really hook anyone. So that was a really interesting thing to hear him, and that's another thing that I fucking love about him. Like, he really just is so open to transformation and to critique. Like, he doesn't take it personally. He knows that there are mistakes and different things. I do wonder though, Diraj, there's the part where I'm actually looking at that intro right now. I was gonna read a little bit of it, but I brought up that point about the color wheel, and some of me wonders if that was an original like edit by the editor who pointed that out, or if that was Richard writing it. It's so hard to tell in some of these spots if it's Richard making a note or if it's the editor making a note. But yeah, I definitely agree, and I see how there are a lot of things within this book that need clarification. And oh man, going through and doing Fix the World right now, it's even, I'm pretty sure that the version I'm doing of Fix the World is very similar to the original version of SciVive, where there's parts that, like, you can tell it was translated. Most of this, by the way, and I learned this from Maddie Allen. We spoke a while back, and he was telling me that most of it is transcribed from audio. Like, they took the audio and then ran it through some kind of machine, and then the text was generated from that. So yeah, and that's another thing I'd love to find out from Richard is, how much of this, like, did you sit down and actually type any of this? Is this all taken from your videos and the Reddit forums? Like, where did all the text come from and originate? And who sat down and took it from the audio and put it into text? So yeah, I can't wait for, someday for he and I to really discuss that and get into the origins of this book and how that works.
Wow. And I want to comment on something. I actually like that Richard is not very vague. Like he's giving you like concrete or like specifics, like specific actions that you can do, like to help change your life for the better. Like I really enjoyed that so far. And also just about Richard himself being open to change, and like he admits that, hey, okay, the title SciVive maybe it's not taking off, so he's open to changing it up. And I think, like, being open to your mistakes or things that don't work, I mean, that's the way you evolve and get better. So I think that's really awesome.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And that's, again, the reason, or, again, I started this kind of as a selfish thing and just wanting to do the audio because I knew the community wanted to do it. And once I started to get like actual not necessarily feedback, but like once Richard heard about it and got excited about it, I mean, that just took it to a whole new level for me, because I was just like, wow, like, not only does the community appreciate this, but Richard himself is like stoked that this is happening. And that's another thing that I would love to discuss with him, because I've gone back, especially in preparation for this stream, and for doing what I'm doing, I've gone back to watch some of the older videos. And there's one in particular, I want to say Alex Stokes was who he was being interviewed by. I can't recall if that's exactly correct, but I watched that interview, and there were also other interviews around that same time period where he talks about, he knows that he's going to do Hex, and it may not have been at that time, like he may not have known that it was Hex or whatever, but he knew that he was going to go into getting something done with cryptocurrency. And yeah, it was Adam Stokes. Sorry, I was looking at the message that I sent him. So yeah, in this Adam Stokes video, he is talking about, fixing different things and doing something within crypto. And then he says, as soon as that's all done, I'm going to get back to SciVive and do this and get this book out there and get this information out there, because you can see that that's really where his heart is. Like, yeah, of course he's jazzed right now. Pulse chain's coming, and Hex is doing its thing and up and to the right all day long. Like and it's beautiful, and it's wonderful that he's doing that. But I really can't wait until he gets to come back to SciVive and gets to actually make this something more of his focus, because I see that that's where his heart is really at. And I think that it's going to be really important as his presence and as his popularity pardon me, grows over these coming years because of Hex and because of Pulse Chain. People are going to dig, and they're going to, want to know who this man is and what he's about. And he even said at one point, I think when he and I were talking at the Hexpo, he was like, if they wanted to find something against me, here it is. Here's everything that I believe,
Right.
here right in front of you. So, take that and run with it. And that's what I'm really hoping, that this stream, every Sunday, y'all. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, we do this every Sunday. We hang out, we talk about SciVive. I'm probably going to try and invite Richard every week now and be like, hey man, like you've got the link, like come in and hang out and tell us how. And I did ask him if his worldview has changed, and he said no, and that was really good to hear, especially as someone who's going through and editing now. It's like, okay, good, I don't have to be like, oh, is this still something that he actually wants to hold on to or believe. The only thing that I've found that I know is going to need some updating is in Fix the World, because he talks about Bitcoin. So it was back when he was a Bitcoin maxi that he was writing about that stuff. So yeah,
right.
So I was just like, okay, well, there's definitely, he mentioned, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and read that. I was like, yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that one. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just saw the comment from Zemelka. Like, it's a good title, but the thing is, if you are having a specific category of books, like in self-help, do you see any? Can you name any self-help book that is a new word in itself?
Right.
So whenever you are marketing something, a product, you have to be different, but not really that different. So if you are competing with Coca-Cola, you have to introduce Pepsi Cola. You cannot just introduce something different. So
Yeah, it's funny because it's Richard who always is saying, your branding, you shouldn't have to spell out what your brand is, and so yeah.
Yeah, he's taking his own advice.
Yeah, sometimes I know for sure he hasn't read his own book. So some of this, like he should really read it and take some of the advice. And but the second thing was regarding the graphic. The See, it says SciVive and survival through science, but the cover of the book, it looks like medieval art. So are you supporting science or alchemy? So it's so we need to make it a bit more futuristic kind of. I think they were trying to do it, but I don't know like how far they went with it regarding the redesigning of the cover.
Yeah, he also mentioned that in the Stokes interview, that it was, he just took this already existing shield and then kind of added what he wanted to it. So yeah, it would be interesting to see with the changing of the name, what the graphics are going to look like and what he wants to do with the branding moving forward. There we go. Okay, I just posted the link. If anyone else in the chat is interested in sharing your SciVive journey and how you came into the SciVive world, especially if you happen to know a little bit more about the development of it, if you listened to a lot of Richard's older streams and you heard, because I can't find anything where I hear him say, oh, I just had this idea to work on a book, or I just thought it would be good to put these videos into a text form. I'm just so curious to know, where the origins were about it. And also I love hearing people's stories on how it has affected your life, and how you have related to SciVive and what it's done for you. And I'll give a little example for myself. Two things. One is my branding. I originally, in fact, I think when I was at Hexpo, I had my username was SJ Reads SciVive, because that's what I was doing at the time. And I thought that it was, I was like, oh, this is something that I want to share with the community. Well, as I read SciVive, I listened to the advice that Richard gives about being your own brand and doing your own thing. And I thought, well, hey, I love SciVive and I'm going to continue to promote it, but I didn't write it. It's not my work. And I'm definitely going to be doing more within this community than just reading SciVive. So that's how A Wild SJ came about. Um, and then secondly, at this point in time, I am taking a break from smoking cannabis. It's been something that I've done almost every day for the last many years. So for quite a long time, and I've taken breaks before. At one point, it was a break not of my own choice in a way. Like I had a partner that didn't approve, so I quit for him, and that was terrible. I ended up drinking a lot more, and that's not conducive to anything. So it was not a good decision. But at this point, it's something that I'm willing to kind of take a break from. I want to see how I feel, and it's been about a week now, probably a little more than a week. And I'm feeling real good. One thing that I love about having this break is my dreams. There's scientific, I've read a little bit about it, but when you smoke cannabis, it does disrupt your sleep in a way and your REM pattern. So many people don't dream. I actually have friends who smoke for that reason, because they have nightmares, or like they just have night terrors. So they smoke so that they do not dream. So it's, for me, it's been a really nice coming back into my dream state and like learning more about my subconscious and like reconnecting with that. So those are two things that just, right off the bat after reading this book, and a little more. So he doesn't talk about it too much, substances within SciVive, but I've heard Richard himself just speak about that he doesn't do that, and he doesn't want to alter his mental state. And it's, there's give and take. Like there's I've tried almost all the substances. I've done a lot of them, and I've had really great interactions with it. And for the most part, I think that's because my mental capacity, like my mental state, is in the positive all my life. Like I'm very fortunate in that, and I feel super blessed that I have a very strong mental, like, awareness. And I've even through and I've brought this up a little bit in the past, but even in going through a abusive relationship, and at the end of that, I had a little bit of PTSD, because there would be like little things that would come up, and it would really just throw me off. I'm just like, whoa, why am I feeling this way? Like, what is happening? And I did go to counseling a few times to get through that, and my counselor was like, it's interesting that you have this kind of, I don't know if foresight's the right word, but this sight. Like, I'm able to see that I am having an episode, whereas many people, they get triggered and they just go like off the rails, and they go into this spiral, and it keeps going on and on and on. So again, like that's just something that I feel really fortunate to have, this mental clarity. And I understand why Richard advises against it, right? Because not everyone is going to react the same, and not everyone is going to have such a strong mind to be able to differentiate between this is a substance thing and this is reality. So that's a little bit, yeah. Do either of you have something you want to share about maybe something you've read in SciVive that has positively affected you?
Maybe no, I didn't actually read it in SciVive. I don't, or rather, but I do remember like Richard giving tips about debates, and which have been very helpful for, had been like in my job, like for discussing like how to corner people into admitting things by getting on the yes rule, and after that they cannot refuse your point. Yeah, so that kind of helped me in my professional life. So that was good. And yeah, regarding substance, yeah, I worked in drug safety, pharmacovigilance. So yeah, not everybody reacts to a substance in the same way.
Right.
So yeah, so tread carefully. It's a very touchy subject, kind of.
Mhm.
Uh, and I won't say whether I have used or not used marijuana, but yeah, I think most of people know, like, it's supposed to be a offering to the gods in the Hinduism. So maybe I won't admit it on camera, uh, but yeah, not everybody can be productive uh, having marijuana. That is because some react, like, they go outward, some go inward. Those who go outwards, like, find solution to problems, and but forget to write it down. And those who go inward go into this kind of a nihilistic spiral, like nothing else matters. So
Yeah. As far as like substance, I can say like when I was in a band, in college, and we were you know, a regional rock band, relatively successful. Like we were planning on doing that professionally, and so I definitely had a lot of recreational fun times. Um, but yeah, I kind of realized that was not for me. I kind of after I got out of the band, and um, I guess I'm kind of like you, SJ, where I have a very positive, mental state. So I know I can kind of separate myself from it. Like I know, hey, I'm doing this recreationally for a good time just right now. And I kind of know the difference. Um, anyway, so and in terms of like things that I enjoy from SciVive, like a lot of the stuff that Richard talks about, where it's kind of like about productivity and your own time management and like goal setting. That's what's really resonated with me. And it's like I know that um, when I listen to it, it's pretty dense material. Like I know that I'm going to have to go back again and listen again and just to let things sink in, or like I need take notes or something. But I know that this is going to be like probably a long journey for me, just because it's a long book and it just seems so densely packed with great things. So I would just advise people to when you listen to it, you know go back and listen to it again. you know so I was going to ask you like what parts are some of your favorite parts, SJ?
Ooh, man, there's so so much. There's so
It's a
much in
lot,
it.
right?
Yeah. And I do come back to we kind of touched on this earlier, but the actionable part of it. Like I have read other books, Think and Grow Rich. There's a book called You Are a Badass. The Power of or like I don't think I ever read The Secret, but there was a actually I found in SciVive that Richard brings this guy up, and I have to reread and find out what he says about him. But Kevin Trudeau did a audio book thing called Think it's like you are you are what you think, or you can have what you dream, something like that, something along those lines. So very similar principles in terms of manifestation and The Secret and the power of positivity. But what I love about SciVive again is the actionable steps that Richard says, hey, don't just think it, take these steps to do it. And that really gets driven home for me over and over again within it. um and also the business, I wouldn't call myself a businesswoman. That's not something that I really feel like I want to go into. I like being kind of like an independent contractor and doing things like that. But anyone who is interested in getting out of the rat race, and even if you don't feel like you have money to put into crypto or you're not interested in crypto, he has very great advice on how to start your own business and how to get started with a cash flow. So that is just, I mean, this information is invaluable and we should be paying for it. Like I'm sure one day when it is a printable version, people will pay for the copies of the book, but at this point it's like, wow, like he is giving us all of this real life alpha for free, y'all. And it is, yeah, it is great stuff. So, and another thing I do love is that you can just pick it up and put it down, like jump around in the chapter. Like if you're reading it, you can just like pick a page and, check it out. And if you're listening to the audiobook, same kind of thing, skip around, listen to, take in all these different parts of the book. And yeah, so real cool. I think, Scott, do you want to go ahead and try and play that video one more time?
I was gonna say, hey, I mean, I'll give it a shot. Like I told you, and just letting everyone else know out there, this is my first live stream, like first time. Yay. Thanks to Motley for telling me, hey, StreamYard was a good, platform to use. So I downloaded it, and all right, so I actually pulled it up on another tab here. Let's see if I can share my screen. So share. Share screen. Okay. Go to Chrome tab.
For anyone who's just joining us, we're trying to do what we were trying to do in the beginning. There's this really awesome video that I'm really hoping to share within this stream, and I couldn't figure it out. So I'm thinking Scott might.
So let's see. The SciVivalist. Let's see.
Yep.
This is it, right? All right. Well, let's see if we get any audio.
I don't see it. I'm not seeing anything.
You're not seeing.
I just see us.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Online.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Rewind it. I can hear it.
This coin and upcoming projects. Welcome to the show, Richard.
All right.
Yes. Y'all can hear it too. Yes. Can we get some thumbs up or plus ones in the chat if you can hear this?
One in the chat.
Yeah.
Looks like there's no sound right in the beginning, but
right. It's kind of silent for a second. But if you heard that talking just now on the video, let us know.
Here it goes.
Hear it?
Enigmatic figure online, founder of
All right,
Hex.
check
Richard
this
joins
out.
us today to talk about this coin and his upcoming projects. Welcome to the show, Richard.
In this world, we have a ton of really complex problems. Problems so complicated that by the time you die, much of them will go unanswered. Do not spend your time competing with people. Spend your time competing against the reality of the world that we live in. Discover new things. A sincere apology is one of the most important things you'll ever give in your relationship or ever receive in a relationship. How about how to be a good friend? How to give a good apology? How not to get scammed? How to save your money? How to invest? How to delay gratification so that your investment today can turn into something bigger in the future. If you leave hidden pockets of stupidity and wrongness and evilness in the world that don't get discovered because they've been silenced, it makes the world a worse place.
You're happy to move on to your book, SciVive?
Sure.
Okay, so to the listeners out there, you must read this book.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, sure. Yeah. If you've already traveled the world and retired and, done all the things a young man would like to do, what's left? To do more of the same and not rot away and die as everyone before you has done. And far too many human beings on this planet spend their time doing things that have no lasting value. How would you get the world to do the intelligent thing, the smart thing, and start trying to save their own lives because they can be saved?
There's a lot of powerful stuff in there that can make you a better person, more profitable, better at this. It's just very amazing. I really wish we would start doing more of those videos. I really do, because they were
One day, man.
very
That's
helpful.
the next thing on the list. So as soon as Hex takes over the world, we're just transmitting digits to each other. This is communication. Money is speech, and if you try and stop people from speaking, you will get revolution. So for me, it's weird. Like, I don't mind dying. I just mind not doing the best I could.
You've retired early, you've traveled the world, you have it all. Are you happy right now?
No. No. Things do get cured and lives do get saved. And the more people and the more funding and the more ecosystem and the more tools we give those people, the better everyone's lives are going to be forever. If I tell you instead, here's how you get laid, paid, have fun, have influence, have power, sex, drugs, rock and roll, if I give that all to you, if I fill your cup and your cup's flowing over, maybe I can get you to join me on this ride to save your own life, because it's worth saving. That's the mission. Like, that's the goal, to make it a movement. I'm going to put up the fight. I'm not going to, just let it happen. Just bow down. Nope. I'm going to put up a fight. It's part of that. It's part of the mission. It's on the way.
One of the things I hear you talk a lot about is being the best guy in crypto, the best man in crypto. And I agree with you. You are. You've obviously given money to the Sens Foundation, but you have, it seems like, vision beyond just crypto, obviously for health and those type of things. But when it's all said and done, when you're 99 or 109, what do you want people to remember you for?
I think it's the community. Everything comes back to the community, always. You want to make people's lives better. You want to make them happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. And what else matters? Like, only the people matter. And even making progress, like as far as medical research, medical progress goes, who do you think does that research? People, So it's, for me, it's all about the people.
All right.
Wow. All the feels.
Wow.
All the
that is
feels.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my
thank
gosh.
you so much, Sweaty Hexagon, for putting that together.
Yes, that was amazing. Man,
Very cool.
Yeah, we know Richard is busy right now, obviously, but like, after like Pulse Chain comes out and things are okay, maybe he's gonna do the wallet next or whatever, but like
right.
Eventually, I think we need to push him to go ahead and start, doing some streams, some SciVive streams, to get back on that, because that's like, that's like what's really important here. Like he said, like he's like, making us all rich and wise and happy, but then in the end, it's like the community. It's like, so I feel like after he does all the blockchain stuff, all the, making, all of our mad gains and what have you, then yeah, I think he should come back around to SciVive and just start, because it's a great message and needs to get out there,
Yeah, it sure does.
I kind of like, it's not that he is not working on SciVive, even working on Pulse Chain and working on the wallet. is going to be working on SciVive, because the main purpose is to get people together first. Like, let their like you heard in the video, let the cup overflow. Then they can think about doing these kind of stuff. Like, yeah. So yeah, and again, after, like, if you have, that's what I said. Like, rarely, I really doubt whether he has read his book himself, because in the book itself there is this mention, like, if you want to sell an idea, you should charge for it, maybe a minimal amount, but you have to see if people are ready to pay for it, and people vote with their money. If nobody's, yeah, if you give it for free, yeah, they will take it and maybe forget it after a few minutes. But if they are paying for it, then they kind of value it more. That's why he even suggested the guys at Crypto Starbucks to start charging for their
Mhm.
workshops they were
Yeah.
doing. So, and which they are right now. And I think Black Mexican, she is the one who is handling that.
Yep.
So follow her on, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
on
follow
all
her
the
So
on.
things. I actually just did a stream with her right before this. She did a really
Yeah.
cool Mother's Day stream, so definitely check her out and give her a follow. She's doing amazing work, and
awesome.
as is a mom, she's
Oh
got her
yeah.
family and she's doing all this too. So that's just wonderful.
That's my
And
girl. Yeah, she's amazing. Definitely.
I think she is also doing a giveaway of some
Hmm.
maxi tokens, 555.5 maxi tokens.
Yeah, I
So
glanced at my Twitter real quick and I saw Susie Q. I think she might have already got it. So you have to take it was you and your kid, and then holding us or with a sign that says I'm a gladiator. So
Nice.
if she had, I don't know if that because she took a picture of a picture, so I don't know if that counted. But if you haven't done it yet, I mean, I'm sure it's also a good way to get the word out there about Maxi, which is beautiful. This is much like the SciVive Telegram. I try to keep this to SciVive chat only, so we don't really do a lot of crypto speak here. But yeah, shout out to the
yeah,
Maxi team and all that they're doing, because that's a really really great product and great way to get into Hex as well. I do want to read. It wouldn't be a SciVive Sunday without reading a little bit from SciVive.
Let's go.
And I was just kind of scrolling through the intro, and there are a couple little. There's this, especially this one little section that jumped out to me. So I'm going to read a couple things real quick. This is in the intro, and it's the subheading says "Fulfill Your Destiny," and I think that this is really poignant and really good, especially for anyone tuning in, anyone watching this on the replay, anyone who's interested in or has not read SciVive yet. This little tidbit just really gives you the warm fuzzies, kind of like that video we just watched. So it says, fulfill your destiny. If you are reading these words, there is already something great about you. You're that rare person who knows the future can be brighter. Your future can be shimmering. You believe in yourself. You know there are better and worse methods to doing and achieving things, and you prefer the better. You like to learn new things, particularly things you'll be able to use effectively. Your entire life has led up to this moment, this turning point, where you found the book that will change your life forever. Today is that day. You will dream the dream, and then you will learn to live it. Your life can and will exceed your wildest dreams. Motorcycle in the background. So that little section in itself, I think, is beautiful. And then let's see. I think I'm just going to read this next section because this is really good too. So it says the next subheading is focus on investing in life. And he touched on this in the video that we just watched about, like how precious our lives are. So is anything more precious than human life? Than your life? The answer is no. Humans, the Homo sapiens species, are the crown of creation, at least here on Earth. Therefore, should we not make our number one priority investing in extending human life? SciVive's talking about real dollars and real investment choices that have been proven to be two things. One, beneficial in the quest to extend human life. Two, a good investment that can make you very wealthy. Hex. Imagine that. Socially responsible investing. No, make it socially imperative investing. In medical and healthcare technology can bring positive returns in both prolonging human life and making stakeholders very wealthy. How much better can it get? More people make more progress more quickly. Aren't you glad your parents didn't decide the world would be prettier or work better without you in it? If great minds like Einstein, Bell, Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and others were still alive and productive today, the world would be a better place. You're literally asking for others to die out of your fear. The burden should be higher. Have courage. If living longer comes with too many disadvantages, we'll know a century from now and decide then. And I want to just kind of bring up another little personal thing, because that struck me real quick. Like I had this like little feel moment. That line that says, "Aren't you glad your parents didn't decide the world would be prettier or work better without you in it?" I used to have a sticker or a pin, and this was when I was a little more into religion and stuff. But I had this pin that said, "I survived abortion." I had that because my birth mother had abortions previous to me being conceived. And she made the choice. At that time, she got saved in the Christian religion. And she decided instead of doing an abortion that she was going to give me up for adoption. So, that strikes my heart right there. So it's like, yeah, I'm glad that she didn't decide that this world would be better without me in it, and I know, and not to toot my own horn, but I know that there's a lot of people that feel that same way too, and it's just like, wow, like, what important thing to think about and like to know that, yeah, like I'm here because someone decided that I should be, it's kind of trippy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You never know what one life can do. I mean, I that whole section you read there, just, it really resonates with me because like, it's, I think he's so right. I think, what else is more important than human life, and how, if we had some of those great people that he talked about, I'm into science. So like, and he talked about Einstein, Tesla, like, yeah, if we had some of those minds for a longer time, these are people that did so much for the human race, and, but now they're not with us anymore. So, wow. Yeah. It's great.
I'm hoping all the money and all these things that Richard is doing for longevity, I hope he's one of those people that I'm like, yeah, the world's going to be a better place if he gets to hang out a little bit longer and be around, doing these things and creating, let's do all the crypto stuff. And then let's get kind of back into SciVive while you're creating Hexaco. I'm so about that idea, like a real actual like nation state, like with all these principles and values and,
Right. Wow.
It's exciting.
Ooh, hi from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Nardo.
I'm going to be a bit controversial here. Yes, like I agree there needs to be a research for like longevity, but the thing is, you see, when you consider lifespan of a human, do you know the differences in expected lifespan in different countries? How big the difference is? Like in, I think the longest lifespan expected is in Japan around 82, while those that in the Congo is around 24 or 34, something like that. So yeah, and the human average is 68, I think. So yeah, I've already having midlife crisis. So and the thing is, so extending to 100 and 200 years, yes, but maybe if we move the entire global average towards 68 or maybe 70, that could be more helpful. I don't know. There is this quote on the internet I read, and it kind of sticks with me. Like, what if the answer for the cure to cancer was in the brain of a child that never got to read?
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, so maybe if everybody gets a much more equal opportunity, we could be moving further. But yeah,
Good point.
this makes me sound like a socialist. So I will curb back on it a little bit. But don't worry, when I come to power, there is this joke like, in Stalinist era, if you were in the gulag, uh, on Stalin's birthday, you would get a special dinner, like less less rotten food, or maybe instead of two cockroaches, there would be just one cockroach in your food. So
Wow.
yeah, once I come to power, on my birthday, you will get a special treat. Don't worry.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I wanted to say.
Cockroach free.
Well,
Yeah. So that video that reminded me. So at what do you, when everything is done, like, what do you want people to remember you by? I would say war crimes. Thank you.
war
Gosh.
crimes. Thank you.
Always taking it there, D-Rush. Always.
My man. It's funny though. I mean, well, I'm not a political person, so the whole socialism thing that you brought up, I do think that Richard is actually, with Pulse Chain, is actually, lowering that barrier to entry for people to invest. Like someone could, buy $5 of Hex and stake it for one day and make a profit now, like with Pulse Chain. And so it's like, hopefully that will empower many more people to become financially free. And as we all know, like if you have more resources, like it's a lot easier to live a healthy life when you have more resources. Like you can afford healthier food, just like as simple as that. So I think that Richard, SciVive, and he's walking the walk. He's talking the talk by, he's puts these ideas in SciVive, but now, and he's actually doing it. He is creating this whole ecosystem, and it will benefit so many people. Like,
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Let's see
Yeah.
here.
But again, like, I'm going to criticize again. Like, some parts of the book are like excessive in detail. Like, you
Hmm.
can tell he was previously selling car stereos, by the description of how to adjust your stereo system or audio speakers, how to get the best audio. Yeah, we don't need to know in that much detail in the book, like, yeah. And where there is actual need of like details, like in the, I think, respect section, like the dating section especially, like, there is like one word, or one liners. So
yeah, there's some editing that could be done. That there's so much. I almost feel like that it could be broken up into smaller books, or smaller kind of topics. He could release like 5 books, 5 separate books out of all the material that's in
Yep.
SciVive.
Yeah, and I posted this the poll. I think it's still going. I think I kind of cut it off around this time, but if you haven't seen it yet, I love to get everyone's feedback on the poll about the name. And I commented on that post that I think that we could eventually, and obviously I'm gonna have to talk to Richard about this and see how he feels about it, but I think that you could almost do the opposite and make it one gigantic book, like add Fix the World to SciVive, and then just make it just this like really big, like massive, like chronicle of things. And I know that there are parts of SciVive that kind of repeat and things like that. So going through and editing it, yeah, it's interesting. And that's actually also an interesting point, Scott, is maybe taking sections out and making them separate books instead, like a series.
So Fix the World, I'm not from, did that come after SciVive, or what's the time? Was it before SciVive? I'm not familiar with Fix the World.
Yeah, I actually don't know. If you go to the SciVive Telegram and you go into the files and you hit the search button and you just type in Fix, it comes up as if it's the 11th SciVive chapter. It says like 11 SciVive, like second book or something like that.
Okay.
So if you're looking for Fix the World, check that out. I will soon have a well put together version where it's at right now, or before I started editing it, there's a lot of missing pieces and unfinished thoughts, and there's broken links and things like that. So I've already gone through and cleaned up a lot of that in order to make it flow easier. I'm putting it into chapters that are clearer. And in the beginning of the book, he actually says, he like points out this part where he's saying that like he like, it's like a little note to self, because he talks about how books having a number in them are always listed first, right? Because numerically and then alphabetically. And he goes, maybe I should name this blank ways to fix the world. He's like, let me, I'll think about that. And I was like, I think that's a great idea. I think that putting a number in front, not only for just publication and advertising purposes, but it makes it stick, a little bit more. So I think there's like, in terms of chapters, maybe 12 or 13 chapters. So it's like 13 ways to fix the world. But again, whether or not we want to combine that with SciVive. So, and then getting back to what Fix the World is, I was talking to Max on his stream, RH Maximalist, the other day. And he hadn't read it either. Many people have it, and a lot of people don't even know about it. So it's my one of my mission. Another mission is to get people to check this one out as well, and to learn a little bit more about Fix the World, because there's some really great stuff in there. Like, I mean, he goes into politics, government, law, crime, jail systems. Just it's to me, the way that I wanted to put it, or the way that I feel like putting it, and I don't know if I'm doing this justice or like making it sound correct, but to me, SciVive is more of an internal work where you're wanting to work on yourself and the ways that you can be a better proponent, or like a better person, and more, and contribute more to society. Whereas Fix the World is his looking at what is going on in all of these different world systems, economic, political, socioeconomic, social behavior, and human behavior. And it's him basically saying, hey, we're kind of doing this wrong. The education system, a bit of that is repeated. There's some overlap between Fix the World and SciVive, but he talks a lot about like just how dumb, like I think the quote is something like our education system is based on 1,000-year-old like method, and there's and the liberal arts and what that really is and isn't. So yeah, right. It is. I almost like it a little bit more than SciVive. I mean, in a way, like, because there's just all these other nuggets that you don't get in SciVive are in Fix the World, and it's really well done. I mean, in terms of what he's saying, in terms of editing, it's wretched until I'm done with it. it's really hard. It's hard to follow because it's just kind of broken up. I think it's probably similar to Diraj, the version that you had, the original version of SciVive, where it's just kind of like all over the place and you're not sure what goes where. But yeah, it's definitely something worth checking out. If I don't have it, I'm pretty sure in the link to this video, I do have the link to the SciVive Telegram, and that's where you can find the document. So check that out,
Awesome.
and hopefully I'll have the well-edited version up really soon. I actually am gonna kind of cut it short today and end it there. Did either of you have any closing statements you wanted to just mention or bring up, or shill a thing? Like, I'm fine with that.
Oh, go ahead, go for it.
No, you can go ahead. I like to have the closing remark.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely could shill some things. Well, first of all, I want to say, thanks for having me on, SJ. Some of the stuff we talked about with, the longevity research, I definitely have some theoretical physics that I believe will help with that cause. I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel that describes this science that I know is like next level science. Einstein, forget Einstein. Like we're going beyond. Okay.
Nice.
Einstein is like kind of like Bitcoin. Like he's awesome, but he's like 100 years old now, and there's better stuff that's coming. So let's see. And also want to shill the Pulse Chain Anthem. That's going to be coming.
Can't wait.
That's going to be coming. And also, which I will talk to you maybe offline, SJ, I'm also thinking about doing a drum and bass Pulse X song or anthem. Yeah. We'll see. Which I'll talk to you about that.
Awesome.
And other than that, I might actually start trying to do more streams with people. So, because this worked out. I was scared that, like I said, this is my first stream. I didn't know if it was going to work. Hey, it seems to be working fine. So,
yeah, you're doing it better than I. I've been doing it for weeks, and you already got that whole like.
All right. Oh, I know. I got the video up for you, right? All right. Awesome.
Awesome.
You. All right. Well, that's about it. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. This was. And I want to say a shout out to. I didn't really get to address the chat, man. I saw Motley in there. Nader for the win. What's up, guys? Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's some good comments in there. We didn't really go over that, but I appreciate all the comments. There was some good stuff in there, guys. And hi to everybody. Thanks for being out here and being on the stream. All right, that's it for me, guys.
D-Rash?
So yeah, I don't now I forgot what I was going to say. But if you liked what I said, so then you can follow the Hex Asians channel on YouTube. We stream Monday morning 9 a.m. EST. So that's where you can find me and get better tips, and those streams are much more lighthearted. So I don't know why, but some people do enjoy them. And other thing I wanted to say was, since we are in a bear market, I have written a small prayer for the crypto. I call it the Crypto Degens prayer. So please here it goes. It goes, O universe, give me the serenity to hodl all my leet coins, and the strength to dump all my shit coins, and the wisdom to tell the difference. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
And
what was that?
There was this meme, amen, and a woman.
And a woman. Nice, especially because it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, on that note, thank you again so much for tuning in. Scott, D-Raj, thank you so much for being here and
this is great.
sharing your thoughts with me. I'm going to try and do more of an open format like this on occasion. So if anyone out there is watching now or on the replay, you're interested in coming on and discussing SciVive and how it's affected your life, or you know a little bit more about the origins of it, because I'm just dying to know. I'd really want to know more about that. So thanks to everyone. Again, happy Mother's Day. And yeah, keep SciViving, y'all. Take care.